Welcome back. Gotta make a quick video. Already wasted 4 minutes or more. So I was listening to my video of something, Black Boule, and it was talking about how the churches be stealing the congregation's money, and they be getting money from the government to preach a certain way. And then that made me say something funny like, man, nigga, get your hands out my pocket. Because, like, they're in everybody's pocket. So eventually that's going to get stopped. And that made me think of a movie line. And I said, what movie is that? Because I remember that. And then right away I remembered it's the Malcolm X movie. And it's the scene right before he gets shot. And it was crazy because that was a crazy distraction. They had one guy pretend they was gonna fight and say, get your hands out my pocket, nigga. And then the gunman ran up on him, you know? And then it made me think to myself, what? That is so perfect. Like, evil men, like Satan always got a shit in your face. And certain, I ain't saying, the nation, you know what I mean? I don't want no problem with y'all, you know what I mean? But your leader, he said that he had something to do with it. He admitted to it. So, you take that up with him for me, thinking that that was a bad thing to do. Now, the mockery is astounding because if Malcolm started his own thing like he was doing, he already went across the world. He went to the other side. And he seen the prophecy of, there's Negroes over here. We're in the four corners of the earth. Holy shit. And they're not like the American Negro. They haven't been fighting back. They haven't been learning anything. They're still fucking 200 years behind. They don't even know. We've been shaking and baking and getting our heads humbled, spiritually, physically, and mentally. But we've been doing things. And he wanted to do what the Lord said. Unite and leave everybody alone. Don't go crazy on nothing. None of that fucking rebel shit. No, he said we need to get together and start helping each other. Because, he said there was like 50 million over there where he was at. And there's at least 80 million or more over here. I know they're lying about the census. I know they're lying. Sound the horns, my daddy in a building. So, I realized the magnitude of, what he was about to do. And since this group that was with, Nation, they only fuck with niggas over here. They don't fuck with them niggas over there. Alright, maybe they do now. It's been a long time. I don't follow their thing, so I'm sure they got ties everywhere. You trying to help your people. They doing things, so I'm sure they probably took a couple flights. Anyway, but Malcolm was on some, like, him type shit, like, sound the horns, I know a real nigga when I see one. I know a nigga that want to come to the light, because he was in the dark. So, he knows exactly what we look like, sound like, you get it? He can see. And it would have been easy for him to group us together, at least in communication, especially by now, like with all this technology. And even if we don't rebel, like I said, we're not going to rebel. It's not what we were taught to do. We would have been able to unite in money. But we wouldn't have to ask nobody in the world for anything. All the other black people that don't want to listen, who gives a fuck? You want to be a part of the nations? You want to keep putting your fucking hand out to motherfuckers that literally doing you the way they doing you? You do that. We would have fucking been building our own thing by now. Sound the horns. We would have been trying to fucking buy our freedom or something. Something, you know what I mean? And, like I said, the mockery is at an all-time high. I realize when people do you dirty and shit, they gotta mock you. They gotta let it be known. Especially with the fucking tyranny of everybody's old school ways. I gotta let the example. That nigga screaming, get your hands out my pocket, nigga. That wasn't just a distraction. That was the last message they wanted him to hear. Get your fucking hands out. You're getting this because you put your fucking hand in our pocket. We taught you how to speak like that. We gave you that knowledge, nigga. I got you out of jail, you fucking dusty. And then you gonna go and do your own thing? And while you were Super Saiyan level 2, nigga, and you shining in front of everybody, and we put you there, and now everybody that loves you is gonna go with you. Duh. So he was automatic. Like, even if he wouldn't have went and got people around, the other Negroes around the world to do things, he would at least had people to do things here, little by little. You know what I mean? At least think better. Shit, we got to start somewhere. And that I realize that now. I could be totally wrong. This could just be me just thinking crazy, but nah, I realized a lot of fucking things like that have happened multiple times. Like, we just had somebody I forgot who it was. Wasn't it that Charlie guy? He just got popped, and they did a movie scene to this nigga and engraved the shell casings like a Batman movie. We got a fucking Riddler out there. The CEO, that CEO guy, he got popped and he got put with shell casings and messages and shit. So there's a fucking nutcase out here somewhere. Or maybe a group of nutcases. Like, the last Batman movie that came out with the guy that was, like, shooting people. And he was, like, Bullseye or something. And he was so smart, he made Batman and the police walk this stupid motherfucker right to where he wanted to get him at. Remember? Remember the movie? Remember? Anyway, it's not funny. It's because there's nothing new under the sun. And I realized that's just disrespectful if they really did do that. Because, I get it though. He would have been all up in their pocket. You know what I mean? So, nobody like losing money. But that's just like, damn, bro. Like, y'all should have let him live, man. There's no Negro that would have set us free or did anything really spectacular. I truly believe what the Lord said. No one's setting you free. You're going to get together, and nothing changes without him. So it doesn't even matter if we even get together. Y'all still going to have y'all foot on my neck. Y'all still going to do certain things, because that's what the Lord said is going to happen. He said the only way we're getting free is if we endure, because you're going to keep doing what you're doing, and there's a fucking time limit on it. See, people don't understand. We judge time by time. The Lord judges time by events. Everything that happens down here makes him do something, and that changes the times. So once you fill up the cup of sin of ours with our blood, like he said you would, once that's filled up, then immediately it's go time. Then it's a rap. Then he frees the rest. That's why I don't trust no nigga out here. And I never trust nobody. And I don't care what nobody says. Why? Because I know I don't have no fucking power anyway to do nothing to stop anybody. I could barely fucking stop myself. That's why I let my father take the wheel. It seems, sound the horns, seems like it's been working for me. Really seems like it's been working. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there and give people something to think about. I don't even know why that matters, but it matters to me. All love, all praise to the Most High.